guys, today we're taking a look at Susano. He got 2 buffs in the recent balance patch. His skill 2, as well as the light one and the wind one, all do absorb attack gauge now instead of just decrease the enemy attack gauge. But this one is even more impactful, is he increases attack bar by 20% if a critical hit doesn't occur when you're attacked, and he also reduces the odds of receiving a critical hit by 50%. So he's going to be turn cycling between these 2 skills quite a decent amount. Let's take a look. I want you guys to think about where to draft Susano, the newly buffed Susano, in a similar place to where you would normally draft things like Vertiheel, Diana, Moore, Douglas, Haygang, Carbine, things that basically increase their attack gauge as part of their passive. Steel turns, Douglas does counter attacks and does damage that way. He doesn't really increase attack gauge in steel turns unless he's on Nemesis. So in a similar place, so increase attack gauge right there, we saw, and he's on Vampire. He's stealing some HP because he doesn't normally just steal HP like that. So he's on Vampire. They're going for the, and the Revenge proc. They're going for the Juno first. Now with that glancing hit, that's going to be even better for Susano stealing extra turns. Increased attack bar again. Got the counter, but he also increased the attack bar on the counter because he did not get crit on, even though, well, I was going to say, even though he's attacked by a fire unit. Vega doesn't understand his elements. Fire units don't have element advantage over water units. Okay, let's go on to this. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore, guys. So remember where we discussed him being used in the last match alongside things like Diana or Douglas, but he doesn't necessarily need to be alongside those, but in a similar spot of where you would pick those units. And we see those same units that I was mentioning in the last match being picked here. Douglas, Diana, they're just allowing, this player is just allowing, by the way, they stream on Twitch. If I remember to, I will leave a link to their Twitch channel in the description. But they're just allowing the opponent to take turn 1. They're like, I'm fine. I'm going to pick a whole bunch of units with passives. Hopefully, they don't crit. And then this way, Susano increases the attack gauge. But right now, that Susano can just obliterate both these fire units. As long as the Molly's off the field, Susano can solo both of them. Because they're not going to be critting on him. First off, he has element advantage. First off, he has element advantage. Second off, he is going to be increasing his attack gauge. Keep cycling, and he's on Vampire runes, so he's going to be healing, so he should be plenty capable of soloing. The Molly is going to be an issue, right? But aside from that, although Molly is probably not going to crit on him too much anyway, because Molly usually has low crit rate, and I just feel like he can, look at this. So he's on Vampire Revenge, probably speed crit damage attack. Possibly speed crit damage HP, but some kind of fast crit damage bruiser type build. Next match, this player is just perfectly content taking turn 2. They're not even trying to contest turn 1. Opponent is going for a fast, aggressive control team. 3 win units against Susano. I mean, the Diana is going to be great here. The Juno is going to be great here if she revenges. Susano's actually, let's see if Susano's passive kicks in. His passive is looking like it kicks in even against wind units. I mean, he does have the increased resistance and the decreased chance of getting crit on. Getting hit on? What is this? Susano Tinder? No, he has the decreased chance of getting crit on. So, at this point, the Fire Lich is going to be very weak to Susano. Anytime he does his AoEs, he's still going to be increasing his Susano's attack gauge. So, and then we got the turn cycling from skill 2. So let's see. Let's see what winds up happening. It's always, let's see how RNG does his passive. I mean, he is at the whim of his passive, at the mercy of his passive. If his passive activates, then that's strong, and he's going to do great. If his passive doesn't activate, especially against wind units, I would be scared to pick him into, or I would be scared to pick him into an Oliver, though. Because Oliver's very strong into Susano, so they definitely had some guts picking him in this match. So going for that. Do they actually... Well, first off, do they stun with Juno? Second off, do they get glanced on Susano, right? Or not crit anyway? Increased attack bar. Because anytime it's not that it needs to glance, it just needs to not crit. So, and Triton usually doesn't have crazy high crit rate. I'm sure some people build him with crazy high crit rate, but a lot of people just build him fast and good accuracy. So there we go. Even against 3 wind units, he actually did pretty decently, but they didn't focus Susano down at the very beginning. They were focused on Diana, they were focused on Triana, they weren't really focused on Susano. Next match looks like he's picking a Susano cleave, but goes for a bruiser in there. He's got the Tianlang. Opponent's got the Tianlang. So is he going to ban the Tianlang out, or is he going to go for trying to just keep the Tianlang in? You know what? Tianlang is actually going to nerf some of his opponent's units. He's going to nerf the Jonah. He's going to nerf the Karnal as well, that Tianlang being in there. So I think he left the Tianlang in for a couple different reasons. Number one, because it was already a counter to his own, like, his opponent was already countering his own picks, number one. And then also he probably wanted the Tianlang in there for the attack gauge, the AoEs, right? Because if you have Tianlang, you're like, I'm going to definitely go for AoEs, AoE strips. And then 3 units are going to activate passives on those Tianlang strips. For me personally, I just love banning Tianlang because I'm like, no, Tianlang, not again, not another Tianlang. It seems like so many people have him, but he's just such a nasty unit. I like to do attack gauge increase things, so look at that. The Diana almost died there. Diana did not cycle her attack gauge enough because of Tianlang's passive, so it was very dangerous, but I guess he was just content with. What miracle is he going to put? Oh, this is going to be a Douglas solo. That's what this is going to be. This is going to be a Douglas solo. Because aside from the Tianlang countering himself, I feel like the opponent had a good draft. So this is going to be a Douglas solo, isn't this? This is going to be, congratulations, Douglas buff, Douglas solo time. Cleanses the attack power break. Oh my god. This is not even a Susano battle that we're seeing anymore. This is just the fact that Douglas is ridiculous now. This is an interesting match. I mean, it's C2, so it's not anything crazy. It's not like we're watching a G3 match. But it's an interesting picks. We've got the Rakan there. We've got the Ajir there. We've got Susano and Shihao and Ethna. So I would assume that there was 2 units, either very, very fast on Violent or on Swift, the Shihao and the Ethna. Right, because they had the 2 speed leads that correlate with the different elements that they had. So he's got Invincible. He's got the Frenzy. I mean, the Berserk. Frenzy. Frenzy is another BK skill. That almost took the Ethna down. Okay, got some stuns there. Is this going to be enough to? He's got the Provoke there. It's going to be nasty. He doesn't get the stun. I'm very invested in this match. Okay. And he's gonna do the collapse. He's not gonna do the collapse. But at this point, it's gonna be interesting to see. Oh, Ajir takes the bomb. Never mind. I was gonna say it's gonna be interesting to see the Ajir versus the Monkey. That was a match that you don't see every day. That was a match we would have seen like maybe 2 years ago. This is not a match I was expecting to see today with a light 9-tail Fox Chaimi. We'll discuss what she does in a second, but take a look at what he's bringing the Susano into and also what he's bringing the Chaimi into. Susano, there's enemies have 3 AoEs. So either way, Susano is going to be increasing his attack gauge and also hopefully resisting those debuffs over there. So he gets the cleanse, he gets the attack power buff. And then Chaimi, if you guys don't remember what Chaimi does, Chaimi has a multi-hit skill 1. He's got... Oh, he's going for the Oblivion on the Susano. He's very scared of the Susano. Slicing Winds. Gets the Oblivion again. Well, that's not... We're not going to really be able to see what Susano does if he's completely Oblivion the entire time. Well, not anymore. But Chaimi has a multi-hit skill 1. It does a heal block. Her skill 2 is big damage. She's got good multiplier. But at the very beginning of the match, it's not really going to do too much damage. There's going to be a lot of cycling, a lot of turn cycling from the Susano now, especially with the Ilyana there. We didn't even discuss what the Chaimi does. She's got a big damage skill 2. And then she's got a skill 3. She does a cleanse and heal on herself. She does a 50% attack power buff and defense buff, 50% extra attack power and defense every time she uses her skill 3 up to 5 times, which is a pretty decent stat buff. So pay attention to where he's picking this right now. He's picking it in against, we mentioned this before, he's picking it in against AoE units, right? All the units on the opponent's side have AoEs, and he's picking it, fast one, he's picking it in with units that have passives that increase attack gauge. Passive, I mean, not all these passives increase attack gauge, but he had the Vertiheal increase attack gauge, he had the Carbine that increase attack gauge, and then he also has the... he's got the totem that stacks anytime it's attacked, so she can do her totem skill regardless of if it's on cooldown or not. So that's the situation that you would want to pick these into. So I wonder if he's going to... And he's also got... He's going to increase attack gauge a lot with that. He's not super tanky, though, this Susano. Let's take a look. Let's try to figure out exactly how much HP he has. I wasn't... What does he have? Like, somewhere between 15 to 20,000, I believe. Different player now. Let's see how this guy's utilizing him. He's got a couple speed leads in there. He's got the super fast monkey. This is this is a different player. We didn't see this before. Someone else was using a monkey and an Ethna. But and then he's going up against 2 fire AoE units, and he brings in the Susano because Susano is just going to counter both of those. I mean, as long as they don't have immunity. If they have immunity, then it's going to be an issue. So he's trying to take down the immunity as soon as he can. So that's why he went for, instead of the fire units, because the fire units are going to keep cycling the Susano, that's why he went for the cleanse and immunity first. Because he was most threatened by that. I mean, I suppose one way to deal with Susano is just to CC him with Despair runes. So that is also a counter to him, but he can resist, but it's not. Despair runes work differently than just skill activation. So they don't apply. Accuracy and resistance don't apply on Despair runes. So he does actually wind up getting the slow. Resists there, but does wind up getting the slow. And then at this point, that's just GG. Susano can just solo him by himself. There's nothing he can really do with the Cardinal. Unless the Cardinal has amazing RNG for whatever reason, because this is Summoner's War. And I shouldn't say that's GG because we don't actually know. We don't actually know how RNG is going to turn out. So, but this should logically be game as soon as the Wusa is off the field. That should logically be game. Here's a great way to think about Susano, newly adapted to the meta, is he's very similar in where you would pick him to the Water Lich. So if you guys already like using the Water Lich, he's great against things that fire units and water units that do AoE control. Susano is very similar to that. He increases attack gauge, right? Similar to the Water Lich. Water Lich cannot be CC'd. Susano can still be, as you've seen, Susano can still be CC'd. However, he does have resistance passive as part of his passive, so he could, and he also has crit resist, so he does have that tankiness there. He doesn't have tanky stats. His HP is not really that crazy, but his passive does make him tanky there. So there's gonna be a lot of turn cycling with that skill 2 of Ilyana. And that's going to give a lot of access to Gianna's skill 3. Gets the bomb. I mean, of course, the bomb was already there. I don't know what I'm saying. Gets the bomb. Do they go for... Oh, she didn't have it just yet. But that's why she did the skill 2, is, of course, they had the immunity there. Gets resisted. Of course, they had the immunity there, but she just wanted a cycle turn, right? So, this should still be good. I wonder if they're going to continue going for Juno first, or they're going to switch it up to the Wusa. Because Wusa is going to be kind of annoying. They don't have any strips now. They had the Gianna strip. They don't have any strips anymore. And the Juno they could just take care of very easily. Like if it's just Susano versus Juno, Susano's got that, right? Susano's got that. But yeah, they switched it up to target the Wusa here. Because Juno, initially, she had lower HP, and that's why they just want to continue to take the Juno out, because she was already half done. But after the heal over there, then it's just, they don't really have to worry about the Juno that much. They just wanted to take the threat down. Yeah, and then all those turn ones, all those skill ones potentially are going to not cycle as much with those oracles on Susano, because they're obviously going to be attacking him as much as possible because he's the threat there. It's not going to cycle so much. It's going to cycle Susano more than it would cycle the oracles. But anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Susano after the buff, really nice bruiser unit. I mean, he's not triple S tier or anything, but he's a decent bruiser unit against certain comps. But anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you as always in the next one.